And news just coming in, the Indian Air Force has been put on standby. The Indian Air Force will prepare to evacuate Indian citizens who are currently in Ukraine. And there are a large number of Indian citizens who are currently stranded in Ukraine. There are about 20,000 Indian students and workers in the IT sector. Indian students who are studying medicine, not just in the capital Kiev, but also all around, whether it's in Odessa or in Kharkiv or in different other parts of Ukraine who are studying. Will they all be brought first to the capital Kiev and then evacuated to India? When will that window of opportunity be? Because as of now, there is a NOTAM or a notice to airmen that has been issued that there should be no flying. There is a no-fly zone across entire Ukraine. I quickly want to cut across to Executive Editor Shiv Arur, joining us for more on the story. Shiv, tell us more about the evacuation plan currently being worked on.
Gaurav, this is strictly a contingency plan at this point of time. The Air Force has told us that they are ready to, carry out any mission that the Indian government requires of them. As you rightly pointed out, it is in the realm of uncertainty at this point of time because airspace is closed. Some flights haven't, the second Air India flight couldn't even land to evacuate Indians. So there's a great deal of uncertainty over whether flights can actually land. But the Air Force, on its part, being a professional service, is already on standby. It's put its aircraft on standby, C-17s and others. So should the Indian government require an air evacuation, should in the next few hours or days the airspace become open in Ukraine, then the Air Force can react at very, very short notice and get aircraft into the air to go to Ukraine to bring back Indians. So that is the contingency plan right now. The Indian Air Force has had a lot of experience even recently during the air evacuation from Afghanistan. The situation isn't as bad just yet. Hopefully it doesn't get that bad in Ukraine. But air bridges, international air bridges to bring Indians back, is par for the course as far as the Indian Air Force is concerned. And they have confirmed to me that they're very much prepared to carry out any missions that they're ordered to do by the Indian government. So they very much are on standby for short notice evacuation if required.
Shiv, when you look at the bigger picture of what's happening here in Ukraine, I'm reporting from Mariupol, so I'll be able to tell our viewers about what's happening in the east. But across, the Russians seem to be moving to a plan, the systematic targeting of air defense assets of Ukraine, the targeting of various airfields, ammunition dumps, and overall, what does this indicate? This only is set to intensify in the days ahead, given that there is response, retaliation, air defense assets haven't been taken down completely, and that 7 Russian aircraft and helicopters have been shot down, Shiv.
A great deal of, claims and counterclaims are exploding on both sides, Gaurav, and we are the only channel, that isn't taking many of these claims at face value. There are other channels that are, lapping up all these extravagant claims being made by both Ukraine and Russia and looking pretty foolish if you ask me. But there's a reason why everyone's watching India today, and that's because, we're reporting the facts. War is too sensitive an issue, to have half-baked information out on. And that's the reason why you're on the ground as well. But you're right when you say things are moving to a script. The Russians have been extremely insistent to correct those calling this entire exercise an invasion. They say there are no boots on the ground. What is being conducted are standoff military strikes using missiles and air power on particular military sites. They're also emphasizing that no collateral damage is being seen on the ground, that they're being careful not to attack sites which are close to civilian establishments. But you've seen the Mariupol aircraft in flames, Gaurav, after it was bombed earlier today. Shelling has taken place. There's definitely a great deal of damage that has already happened. What President Putin's endgame is remains to be seen. Bringing Ukraine to the negotiating table, abandoning plans of joining the NATO. There are so many possibilities, but they are also extreme, and these are still early hours. Remember, there is an assessment that these are only the early days of what could be an extended conflict.
what appears to be an extended conflict, because as you can hear behind us, I mean, every little while you hear an explosion. At times you hear a volley of explosions, and Shiv, you know, you wonder whether these are those grads that are going off, or artillery guns going off in quick succession, one after the other. But certainly a massive intensification. Ukraine calls it an invasion. Russia calls it, of course, a military offensive to demilitarize Ukraine. But when you look at the military balance between the two countries, Shiv, you know, odds appear to be very heavily stacked against Russia, against Ukraine at this stage. So explain this. How long can Ukraine actually stand up to Russia should other countries not intervene, Shiv?